rinse.
And yet it's got a new world. It's a little naive. It's got charm. Makes you nervous without being alarmed, if you know what I mean.
I like that.
And that's great.
That's very rock and roll of you.
Wow, whatever.
All right, now let's talk about your $54 New Zealand Pinot Noir. I mean, this is...
It's so cheap, I know.
So cheap.
It is.
I mean...
I tell you what, okay. Riesling de Noir, okay, in Paris. Sort of a spectator of France. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The French don't like talking about wine. They drink a lot. Most of them are alcoholics, of course, but that's another story. The fact is...
06 Daniel Schuster Pinot. Which one is this? This is
the 06 Omahi selection
Omahi.
Pinot Noir.
Yep. And what is Omahi? It's the vineyard?
Omahi is the vineyard, a single
you
side.
Named it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, how'd you come up with
in
the name?
Maori, it means hole in the sky.
Okay.
There's a blue sky always above us. You know, coastline, the clouds go one way, mountains on the other hand, 3,000 meters high.
And this is the hole.
And this is the hole in the middle.
Very nice.
Okay, slopes, unirrigated,
what were you saying
of course.
about alcoholics? I missed it.
The fantastic thing is, well, what is the definition? I mean, you know, some people call us experts. Other people would say, hey, he's a wino.
Luscious, yeah.
And I mean, there's a fine difference. And that is to say winos have more fun. Anyway, that aside, I just like wine.
$54 is a pricey play for a New Zealand Pinot Noir in today's market.
Picture this. In 30 vintages, I've made 8 vintages of the Omahi.
Okay.
That's it. In other words, the carpenter has to get everything right. The guy is a carpenter. What does he know about grapes?
I understand.
And you can't even sue him. Somebody made a movie about it, Man Who Sued God, whatever. It didn't work. So either way, you have to get a great vintage before you can actually
What are the vintages that
balance.
you've made?
Okay,
Quiz
89,
time.
95, 96, 98, 2001, 2004, 2006. Basta. And the thing was that either way, each one of them made a big splash. The reason is because I only make it in the great years. Decanter, an English magazine, upper class English twits, you know, hyphenated, all that, nice people. Anyway, second cousins to the Queen.
Yep.
Nice guys. Smoke even cigars and wear straw hats. Now, those guys put it in the top 50 red wines
of the world.
In the world.
What
and
vintage?
the reason
Which
was
vintage?
Omahi, full stop.
Every
Chateau
time?
Margaux, full stop.
Oh,
so on and so
when
on.
they did the 50... I remember that,
That's
actually.
It.
Yes.
And the reason
did that
was...
make you a superstar in the UK? Do you go there now and the girls rip your clothes off?
No.
Devastating.
They found it very easy to resist me. I have no idea how they did. Anyway, the fact is that, you know, 51s, but the way they were selected was on consistency. Now picture this, Revue de Wine in Paris, May 2005. Mm-hmm. Pinot. The way the French do it, a bunch of hooligans in cardigans gets together, you know, merchants, retailers, this and that, sommeliers on, no critics. So professionals, they get together, each one of them brings a bottle of wine that I think is business. I don't have to explain it, no points, no this, blah, blah. That's my bottle, right? And then they sit down, all 50 of them, taste them, and they say, this is the best wine here, this is the second, so on and so on.
Blind
no
or
points,
not blind?
Blind.
Blind?
Blind. And then they just rank order them. Okay, 2005, May.
Listen,
Number one.
coming in 50th place is very good for you.
Les Chambertin, attention, huh? I'm a nice guy. I know where you live. Don't worry about it.
Right here.
They call me Godfather in South Africa. You know?
I'm scared already, Daniel. Go ahead.
Don't worry about a thing. I'll look after your grandchildren.
Appreciate
They
it.
haven't been even born.
Not
Anyway,
yet.
that aside, so, okay, Pinot. And so these guys, Les Chambertin, Amand Rousseau, 2000, great wine.
Big time wine.
Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, Le Grand Chazot, number 2. Number 3, Omahi from New Zealand. There were 3 foreigners amongst 47 Premier and Grand Crus.
So did everybody crap their pants?
No, but most of them said, where the hell is New Zealand? What is New Zealand? They grow grapes? Now, that was funny. But however, it shows the French can recognize great wine.
Well, you're going, listen, those are great wines, but it was 2000 vintage in Burgundy. Was a
2000
little... Oh, okay,
Ooh,
okay.
I
But
thought
2000
so.
Rousseau.
I had a 2000
Rousseau.
2000 Rousseau and
Okay.
2002
So,
DRC.
attention, because I'm paying attention too.
Good.
Well, very good.
But you see, they picked similar kind of age.
Got it, yep.
But either way, they had to be currently available.
Understood.
And so some people release like the DRC.
Later, sure.
Right.
Sure.
Either way, the fun part of it is that, okay, and then you have various other people. This, by the way, the 2006 vintage was the
Smells
International Wine
incredible.
Challenge, New York, London, Tokyo, champion Pinot Noir, New World, because they do separate the Burgundies because of typicity, judging on typicity, not just because they're great wines.
Smart.
Which is smart. And then secondly, it became New World's best red wine. Attention. That includes Napa, that includes and so on and so on. And the reason was New Zealand therefore can make great red wine if they put their mind to it.
Sure.
But you have to have absolutely right vintage. You've got to pick the vintages.
What's the production of this wine?
I made about 1,800 six-packs. So I unleashed
900 cases.
incredible amount of this wine onto US, which represents about a third of my exports, right? And that includes Birmingham, Alabama. Attention. And so, very important wine city.
Very important to
Great
me.
restaurants along the riverfront there. Fantastic place. Music, I always sell wine with this great music. Nashville.
You start dancing.
Right.
Have you done the Nashville? You did the Nashville
I
wine
did the
auction.
Nashville.
I did it this year.
Oh, wonderful.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a
And
lot.
I said something like the Titans suck at the podium,
You did.
and Coach Fisher was in the audience. It was a very awkward situation.
That's as good as it gets. Somebody
I
said
agree.
that.
I kind of
Anyway,
liked it.
but the fact is that anyway, the interesting thing about these Pinots is they come at the right time. That is to say, you have no idea until it happens. I do as little as I have to, and then I take all the credit, which is marvelous. But if you
The
have
carpenter
grapes,
helps you out.
The carpenter helps me. I have friends in Vatican.
I
They're
understand.
nice guys.
That's right.
All right.
They're mother's level. Let's try it.
And so have a look at the Pinot.
I mean,
New world.
you know, what strikes me quite a bit right off the top is this subtle, like, bacon fat in the back end of the nose.
Yep.
You know, this gorgeous, you know, red fruit throughout. I mean, it's quite a charming nose.
It's got kind of a corruption as well, but there's a Volhag venison. You know, we have bambies running around the farm.
Young deer.
Yeah.
You shoot them?
And no, but I have accidents occasionally, and I end up on my barbecue.
Right.
And so, you know, little
You love
guys,
venison.
I love venison. And you see, the thing is that this textural thing, and that appears because of the high density of soil, limestone clay. You get high density in wine. That's the same all over the world. Oregon, Center Coast, Santa Barbara, that kind of thing. The French make,
really
Pinots
nice.
in Burgundy. Same thing. You go to Pommard, high density. You go to Volnay, Frabo, Sol, lighter, aromatic, charming wines.
Yes.
In Pommard, concentrated,
No
dense,
question.
tannic, all that. So same thing happens in New Zealand.
Let's try it.
But this time in New World frame. There's a naivety, there's a wonderful charm about the whole thing in perfumes. Cherry, spice, this, that. It's about summer as well as autumn. That's what I'm saying. Every wine must have a
You know, I
beginning
don't know if it's because he's so darn cool.
or
but
middle and
it's probably because of his personality that I like this wine better. But you cannot underestimate the absolute focus and intensity of this wine. The wine goes right down Broadway, like a perfect straight, like Tim Lincecum of the Giants. He just pitches straight fastballs. I don't understand it, but he's unhittable. This wine does the same thing. It goes right down the middle of your palate with enormous, almost like the skins of blueberry, dark sour cherries, a lot of flavor. It's got oomph. This is not your, light, let's have fun Pinot Noir. I mean, this wine brings balls.
that's it. And I mean, if you have flavors of autumn, steak, cognac sauce, mushrooms, porcini, whatever you eat, that is the great type of thing about great Pinots. They can be about autumn, they can be about summer. A bowl of spaghetti with olio, with mushrooms, it's fantastic. And yet you can have it with steak and all that.
It's a big time wine.
So they're big wines.
I still don't want to pay
but they're
$54
soft
for
and
it.
textural. You should be paying more.
I want to
So-
pay $75.
Okay.
What's your problem?
What's my problem?
Raise your price.
Ramsey, okay, go to Ramsey's on
I don't care
Monday.
about Ramsey. You should raise your price.
I will raise my price.
Fine, we just
There
did it
you go.
here.
All right, it's a deal. Okay, now the thing is though...
Are
that
you raising your price?
I am raising my price.
How much? I think you should raise this to at least $20, $30 more a bottle.
Sometimes...
Let's stop bullshitting. Let's set the tone. Let's create the $100 Pinot Noir play, and let's make it happen.
Okay, if I charge $100 myself...
Well, you can't do that, but let's try to
What do
make
you
it...
mean I can't do that. I'm a nice guy.
Well, you can do whatever you want, but let's try to
But you
aim
can't sell
for
it then.
Let's aim for a $100 retail.
Well, that's exactly where this thing will end up, actually, with a lot of people.
No, let's
it's
not
around
wait.
90.
We don't have all days.
Okay, let's do it today. There's my importer. He does
There
it.
you go.
There
Take
we go.
care of it.
Okay,
But make sure he and I make the
$75 a
profit.
bottle.
You don't deserve any
End
of
of
it.
the
Look at
story.
us. We're here. You're sitting there over there chilling. All right. This wine
Hey.
is spectacular, and
It's fun.
the truth of the matter is this. In a blind tasting, with all the fancy schmancy 95-point, Santa Barbara, Santa Rita Hill Pinots and top Burgundies, this wine will do well. I've always resisted bringing it in because the price point's been heavy, and I love this guy and support him, but this wine proves to me quite a bit. I mean, I'm surprised by how intense the flavor profile is, how balanced it is, how much structure there is, and most of all, here's what really fascinates me about this wine. It's a double bubble. It can drink great now or this is a wine that easily has the tannin structure on the back end to be a 15, 17-year play, in my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right.
Is that the range?
The thing I always go by is very simple. Beginning, middle, and end, harmony of parts, length of flavor. If you know
Absolutely.
nothing about Bordeaux and you end up there first time, and I always ask you the French, which is the best wine here, right? I first give you, a water here, some kind of rubbish. And then if you like it, because you're polite, you say, oh yes, sure, it's a great wine. They'll never give you anything else. So you always have to be rude to the French. They love it and it works. So you tell
They
them, look,
respect it.
they respect it because they know that you're serious.
How about the New Zealand?
Americans are too nice guys. That's the problem.
We're soft.
You've got to get tough.
I
and
agree.
you've got to tell the French, hey,
You're going to pay
bring a decent
$100 for this
bottle of
wine.
Bring a decent bottle of wine or I'll break your fingers. And do it nicely, with a smile. And it works.
Every time,
Anyway,
huh?
but I look at length of flavor. Look at your watch. If you have a second's watch, if you can taste wine for 2 minutes, it's okay. If you can clearly have an impression of wine for 5, it's a very good wine. If you remember it the next morning, it's stunning wine. And therefore, you must have persistence of flavor and harmony of parts. Okay, we go on to a breakfast wine. Like Keith Richards, I've got 3 physicians, right?
A breakfast wine. Pay attention to this guy.
3 physicians, right? They all tell me I should have 2 glasses of wine with each meal, right? So I'm trying to do my best. Breakfast is an important meal, right?
That's
Some
right.
would say most important meal in the day.
Most do say.
So what do you drink with breakfast? So picture this.
Listen,
You wake up next to somebody you quite like, as one does, as one should,
as we'd hope.
as one hopes. And certainly if you wake up next to somebody you don't like, don't give them a glass of wine. Otherwise you'll never leave.
That's
Right.
a very good point.
Or she.
Or she.
Attention. So therefore, okay, you wake up next to somebody. The young lad, that's you, will hop up the night before, take white peaches, chill them, halve them, stone them. That's what Dylan meant when he said everybody must get stoned. So you
I see.
stone the peaches, right?
Stone the peaches.
And then you take a good Armagnac, fill up the cheek,
Mm-hmm.
let it sink in. Before your beloved wakes up, you hop up, as one does, onto the fridge.
When you go take a piss or something?
You take the
I'm just trying to add to the
Possibly.
story.
peaches, think peaches, and you scramble some Stilton blue hard cheese over the top, not too much. Hit it with
Peach,
heat.
cognac, cheese, hit it with heat.
Armagnac's even better because
Armagnac's
Jack
even
Daniels works. It's okay. Anything that's bittersweet. And then the corruption, the Stilton, Gorgonzola, whatever, on top. Hit it with heat, melt the cheese. You've got a cold peach, cognac, and the Gorgonzola. And then single rose on a plate, glass of this fantastic breakfast. Us men, we are nearly perfect. However, occasionally we make a mistake. So we need some brownie points. We need some credits, as it were. Right?
Yes.
And so therefore, a lot of credits in that lot. Now, don't wake up your beloved at 3 in the morning and say, did you forget to put the peaches in the fridge? Doesn't work. I
No.
tried, I got beaten up. Leads to
Badly?
violence. No,
No,
but
not
just
too bad.
enough.
Just
a
enough.
friendly spanking. Okay, so
Well, that might be
here
a good
we
thing.
have...
So here we have the
late
whole
harvest wine.
family vineyard. So you're buying the fruit from the whole family?
No, that's our vineyard, but it's named after the actual family that
Got
farmed
it.
it.
06 late harvest Riesling, $27 US, 25% residual sugar, 25% add bricks. Excuse me, 9 gallons. So 90. Excuse me.
Now, fun wines. End of a meal, right? And every sommelier brings you some alcoholic marmalade, right? Your Italian girlfriend has a head in a soup, and you know you're not going to have a good time.
Because you need her awake.
Right.
Not always, though.
So, end of a meal, at least alive.
At least alive.
End of the meal, right? Not unconscious. So, end of the meal, you should have something fresh that picks you up, makes you think of things you shouldn't be thinking about. Champagne's great, for example. Great at the end of the meal. It makes you go dancing instead of sleeping. Now, with these dessert wines, the so-called stickies, right? Your hand sticks to it, must be good. You see, at the end of a meal, something sweet, right? And sweet on sweet doesn't work. So that's boring. On the other hand, if you have something bitter, for example, cheese, fruit, that kind of thing, then would you need something that's luscious? What makes things luscious? Low alcohol. So if you have this kind of balance, low alcohol, high acid, and then the sweetness, tastes like a peach.
It smells like
And
peach. like
it's
crazy.
wonderful. And so what
It smells
we
like
do
peach with Armagnac.
with this is exactly, there's a bittersweet thing.
It does.
And that goes fantastic on the end of the meal. And the thing is that you take all the botsita's fruit out, and suddenly the whole marmalade disappears. And suddenly it gives you a hug without breaking ribs. It's a wonderful thing. And so these late harvests, this is what in Germany used to be called feinste Auslesen. That means Auslesen ripeness without botrytis.
I see.
So shriveled fruit, so dehydrated fruit. Acidity concentrate, that keeps it fresh.
How much of this do you produce?
When the carpenter allows, and we made 3 vintages in last, 15 years.
Is that right?
That's it, because you see the blighter, he's...
What do? You sell off the fruit if it's not right?
Well, yeah, and secondly, put it into the first Riesling, the second label Riesling. That is a fun thing, and that's easy drinking.
Got it.
But you cannot make these concentrated wines that are
So
like
what are the
marmalade.
3 vintages?
So, 2006, which is this thing, 2004, and 2001, basta.
When did you start?
93, 94.
And the vineyards weren't there yet.
Just wasn't happy. It just didn't happen. Well, you get rain, right? And I have friends in Vatican. Indirectly, we decide what the Pope drinks.
Is that right?
Attention. Well,
That's amazing. I'm
you
listening.
see, when you're leasing land in Italy from Vatican, you don't pay in cash because there's complications, taxes, this, that. Vatican is a different state from
It's a
Italy,
different
no?
place.
So you pay 10% whatever you produce. You grow pigs, 100 pigs, 10 pigs into Vatican.
That's
it's okay.
amazing.
It's wonderful. It's a great system. It worked for 2,000 years now. And
It's the way we should do it now.
therefore, with wine.
In the
The only
US.
problem is the recent guy. The Polish guy was great. He drank, it was wonderful. And when Pope
What-
drinks,
what about this
everybody
guy?
drinks.
What about this guy?
Well, he's German, you see, and I mean, nice guy.
Right.
Munich, he drinks beer,
He likes it.
not wine.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
For the
And so, for a
you.
non-Italian Pope not to drink wine, if he doesn't drink, people in Vatican don't drink.
No, I understand.
All
They
right.
follow the lead.
That's it. So maybe soon we'll be looking for the white smoke. But either way,
Go ahead. I'm loving this.
and
Go ahead.
the fun thing is though that look, wine is about again place, time, and people, and each one of these wine have to.
Is it in
dare
that
to be
order, or
different.
is it people, place, and time?
Well, you
Because I
see,
would say people, place, and time.
I would
PBT.
say place because the place overrides everything.
Okay.
The people are important because that's the peasant like me who
Yep.
goes and prunes the grapes and makes sure that and stuff it up. And then the time is the vintage, and that's the carpenter who decides actually what's going to happen
I
anyway.
understand.
And so it is about all that. And I think with wines, the greatest thing is that everyone has to dare to be different. Bob Dylan doesn't sound like Spice Girls. That's what makes him great.
But Spice Girls are good sometimes too.
Exactly, but I sound like Spice
Don't you wanna
Girls,
be
not
my
like
man?
Bob Dylan.
No, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
With
We
my
all have to
friends.
have courage
That
to
was
be
amazing,
different.
Like get with my friends.
Look at
I always
Jimi
thought that was
Hendrix,
interesting.
Janis Joplin, all the Doors, whatever, Grateful Dead. They were all original and they were all unique.
How about Notorious
That's why.
B.I.G.?
Yes.
Big. What do you think about Biggie Smalls? Are you a big fan or no?
Not as such.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He's the greatest rapper of all time.
Well, there you go, you see. And I'm sure his mother likes him.
Quite a bit. He's
The-
dead now.
Well, there you
Just
go.
like all the greats, he died way too soon.
They all do.
Keith Richards still alive though.
Just.
Barely. But it's been like that for the last 25 years, right?
Well, apparently somebody put a 100-pound note in front of him and he twitched. But either way. Now, Keith had a wonderful bet. Did you know that? Over a case of Bollinger RD.
I did know about
Yeah,
this,
right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a fun thing. And he said, champagne's getting so expensive, I can't afford to die. And I like that.
That's a pretty good one. Let's try this.
Hey.
I'm like, all right,
All
cheers
right.
to good health, my friend.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Gary, it's a marvelous occasion to be near you, as they say. There was a song about this, let's forget it.
Wow, there's a lot more orange peel in this. A lot, right?
Absolutely.
Wild.
And that's the extract. And that wonderful
I mean, the white
peach-like
peach.
texture.
Yeah, the white peaches are clearly here. You know what I like about this? It's not too sticky.
That's it, but that's still low
There's
alcohol.
is that
8%, 9%, that's it.
too many people get too high and it gets a little
Exactly.
cloying.
It's like
Right?
you,
This is
could,
clean.
you keep pouring alcohol into your sauce.
I feel like
it's
an
gonna get
ocean
heavy.
just exploded in my mouth. It's like that fresh. No salt though. Cheers. All right,
I'll drink to that.
Daniel. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
I'm positive that this 2-part series was one of the most popular we've ever done. But as a guest of the show, as we always do by tradition, you get to ask the Vayner Nation out there a question of the day, and they'll answer it. So whatever question you have for the people out there, fire away.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be about wine.
No, it's not about wine.
Yeah, just a question. Go ahead. Don't look at
Okay.
me.
A question, simple question. Can you tell difference between wine made by a woman or man? That is a question. I tried it once enough.
This is an
I
awesome
did.
question.
I
This
had
is a good job.
look, I had 20 wines 3 or 4, 5 of them made by women. By the way, there are some great female winemakers.
Amazing. I just hung out with
And
Heidi
then-
Garrett the other day.
Right, and then I had and it was amazing.
How did you guess?
I
What'd you
picked
do?
all 6 of them.
You did
And
not.
the funny thing was, I didn't know who made them. I knew which,
Is there anybody
if
who
it
can
was a
substantiate
female
this?
or male.
Can anybody? Can somebody
Whatever,
confirm
half a
this
dozen
claim?
winemakers. We got drunk on the end, so therefore, the memory.
They all forget.
But no, not all.
You're telling the
But I'll
truth here,
tell you
right?
what, hey.
You're telling the truth here.
Have absolutely, and have a look at wines like Arrow, like Spotswood,
She's
like
great.
Pam Star,
Pam's crazy.
right?
talented.
Like Celine, like Vierde. All these wines are made by
You
women.
already knew they were woman winemakers when you tried
Of
these
course I
wines.
knew, but I didn't know which ones in a blind tasting.
Oh, okay.
And yet you pick them. There's something.
Finesse, the woman's touch.
There's something about balance. The women have a very good sense of balance as winemakers. The males will always try to produce something that says, "Hey, me Jane, you Tarzan." Do you know what I mean? Whereas females have some kind of a
Really? They wanted to be
sixth
Jane and-
sense. They do.
They wanted to be Jane.
Big shoulders, no cheekbones. All
I
right.
understand.
My Pinot is bigger
Me,
than your
Jane.
Pinot. Do you know what I mean?
But you said me Jane, you Tarzan. That seems to go in the
I
other
know.
direction.
That's
That's
why,
how you roll.
That's why
You're-
John
oh.
Lennon said Hard Day's Night.
I understand.
All right. But either way, there is something about the textual quality, about the balance, about harmony of parts that's different between the two. The amazing thing
We
is,
haven't
look,
been taping for the last 2 minutes, right?
that's all right. 30 years ago, in a wine college, zero female students. That's Davis, that's University of Bordeaux,
Sure.
that's
Sure.
University of Lincoln, where I
Yep.
teach at New Zealand, all that. And you know what? Now there are 55%, and out of the top 10 students, probably 7 or 8 are females.
They're just
So
more
if there
talented
are
than us
girls
dudes.
out there, if there are any girls out there,
Please
go
reach
and
out for
study
Daniel
wine
at
and
the-
make some great wines. That's all I ask. That was my question.
Did you ever watch MTV? There was a show called what was it, The Game, or like the Ladies' Man? I mean, I feel like you should have been the guy teaching the guys how to get girls.
They can resist me very easily, the girls. I don't know how they do it, I tell you.
I'm
I've
shocked
been
myself.
puzzling.
I'm
for
barely
many
holding off right now.
decades.
You, with a little bit of me, we're not changing the wine world. This guy already changed the wine world. We're just adding on top of it. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey,
Say goodbye.
all right, goodbye.